Hello, commanders, advisors, and attaches. It's Plantate here, back with another FCN battle review. We have a very good game here today, a 3v3. We have Byron, the Lord himself, playing Guard France here on the right. Lagoon, head dev, playing Denmark, Norway in the center. Bavaria, played by Mogus on the left, going up against Canada, played by Cryptic. The Ottoman Empire, played by Hydro Bear. And Guard Russia, played by Street Adept. Okay, yes, that is correct. Had to double check myself there. Okay, so the players, I want to say this team has the better players. Street, at his worst, is sort of the weak link. He's not horrible, but he's definitely not one of the best. Sometimes he does pop off, but a lot of the times he doesn't. So yeah. Hydro Bear, very rusty. I remember him. He used to be good at the mod. He used to be pretty decent, and he took a break and came back, and now he's not as good. And Cryptic is pretty good, especially as Canada. He plays a mean Canada. Mogus is good. Lagoon's good, and Byron's super good. Probably the best or like second best player in the mod. He's probably the best, and it's like a tie for first, pretty much. Him and Winfell are the two best. In terms of armies, Russian Guard, very good army. Guard France, they're a good army. I think they're harder to play than Guard Russia, just because of their limitations as a faction and your winning condition as this faction. I think they're less intuitive than Guard Russia to play and build. Denmark, Norway, it's not easy to play. It's kind of a one-side, or not a one-sided, but a one-dimensional faction. Your lights, so Denmark, Norway's niche is that their lights are 180-man units with rifles, and they can go into light infantry behavior, or like open orders, they can take cover. The rifle thing, though, since they have increased range, it means if they get into a shootout at musket range, they're very accurate. And they're already super accurate, normally, because they're rifles, right? And Denmark-Norway actually gets a good artillery detachment, which is kind of surprising. I didn't know Denmark-Norway had good artillery, historically, but in this one, it's not bad artillery. And then Bavaria, super good army. Kind of like jack of all trades, master of none, but they don't really suck at anything. Just all around very good. Hold on, there's a cav. Yeah, okay, so Byron using his guerrilla deployed eclairs in this forest, hidden, trying to see what he can do here. Ottoman Empire. I think they're a hard nation to play just because they're so unorthodox. I feel like if you had to be good at Ottoman Empire, you'd have to like play them a lot and really be an Ottoman main to learn how to use them. The big thing about them, too, is that they're rare to see, and so a lot of people don't know how to play against them. It's kind of the same thing with Denmark, Norway, right? How do you deal with the light infantry with rifles? How do you deal with the Ottoman Empire? You don't play them that often. Cryptic as Canada. Excuse me. Cryptic as Canada. Honestly, he plays a good Canada. Again, kind of one-dimensional. He brings a bunch of native lancers and a bunch of native warriors, and then just charges. But it catches people off guard. It's catched me off guard, and it's I've died to it. Once you know it, though, once you expect it, it's a lot easier to counter it, and Bavaria has the tools in the arsenal to counter it. It is hard, though. The native warriors are super good. 250-man melee only infantry that inspire. Very potent. Very, very potent. Looking at the map here, NTW3 map, actually the same map that my last battle review was on. It is yeah, like I said, NTW3 LLC. 2-pointer here in the center, very big. And then 2 points over here, 2 points over there, right? Those eclairs just stalking. So it looks like, yeah, Cryptic is definitely, or at least I'm pretty sure the Canadians are going to get to this LOC first. Denmark Norway is probably going to get this 2-pointer first. And then over here, it honestly looks like Street could go for, Russian Guard could go for this LOC. And then this one would be like the contested one, so very even on LOC. Let's see what happens here. Russian unicorns, very important part of this army. Something you really don't want to lose. Really expensive, really pivotal. Here come the eclairs. Even with all these chevrons, the eclairs are cheaper than the unicorn. Is Street gonna spot it? Now, if you notice, right, he has no light cab, really. He has 3 units of heavy cab. Oh, he's totally gonna get this. Look at this. And they're limbered, so they're gonna die instantly the second they touch. And look at that. Sorry for the lag, by the way, but whenever there's lags in these games, it shows up in the replay. So, not much I can do about it. Yeah, and he got Byron, though. He got that. And Street, head in the clouds. And now the eclairs are gone. Lost a single man. Huge profit there. Horrible plays by Street. Yeah, so the too much heavy cav, right? You need to bring a mix of all the cavalry because they all serve a role in the army. And heavy cav, buying this much is a gamble. You know, 1 unit, I think, is worth it. But buying this much, you're expecting a late game melee, and you're expecting the cavalry to survive that long. Which is a huge gamble, because a lot of times they take artillery, they take muskets, right? They die. Let me know, by the way, if my microphone sounds good, and if the, I have reshader on for this battle replay. Let me know if you guys like it. I was looking back at these recordings, and I'm like, man, they don't look that good. So, let's snazzy it up a little, right? Look at those Russians go. So yeah, very odd build by Street. What else does he have? Some grenadiers, yeah, and then just normal infantry. Russian guard infantry, nothing to scoff at. Very, very doable. The artillery, though, and the cav, honestly, kind of the same thing with the France. Artillery and cav that plays a big portion of the army. Here we go. So we had these guerrilla deployed sappers that the Ottoman Empires have with Chevaliers, not Chevaliers, whatever those fortifications are called, all around here. So no cav can go here; they'll die. Stakes here, and then native lancers. So a lot of stuff being stacked up against Bavaria. Yeah, he's gonna fall back. Very smart. Again, people need to start bringing more light cav. Light cav in this mod scout the best, and they scout way better compared to everything else. Like night and day. Oh, the eclairs. Oh no, the eclairs went for a charge on the infantry. Killed 40. I don't understand how the eclair, I guess, attacked in rear penalty. Those guys formed square. They're probably gonna get a few shots off, I had to guess. Yeah, and these eclairs just running circles around the heavy cav, right? And again, huge profit there. How many is he gonna lose? Okay, so he lost a few, right? But he killed 40 of that, and he's already the unit's already paid for itself. This is all icing on the cake, extra on top. Here we go, another cav engagement. So Denmark, Norway really does not have good cav. They pretty much, their best cav is their light cav, really, and even then it's not great. And yeah, so very tough. You see Russian lancers, yeah, you kind of have to fall back. Check, check. Okay, there we go. I really need a cough button. You know, I keep on having a cough and shit, and then I don't have a button. I have to just unplug my microphone and mute myself. Anyway, native lancers here on the side. If there was any light infantry here, I would say the native lancers could go for the light infantry and make it. Okay, here we go. Charging from pretty far out. So yeah, Mogus has a lot of time to react. Native lancers are good. These Bavarian lancers, nothing to scoff at. So, not a good play by Mogus. This is from his perspective. He can see these lancers. These lancers should go for these lancers. This goes around the side right now. Yeah, look at this. This is opening up for flanks here. Very big. And these lights are going to get hung out to dry. Also kind of looks like he backcharged his own men a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We got that. And then, yeah, here's more, right? Always more. Yeah, if he... okay. So, yeah, now this is probably going to be dead. I was gonna say, if Cryptic really sent his native lancer to this, it honestly could have maybe broke it. Maybe. Now it's just gonna die. Did some good damage though. And then here comes more native lancers. Yeah, this is gonna, it's not gonna get charged most often time. Really, the second you saw it break, Mogus probably should have pulled this back, but he wanted to stick it to shatter the native lancer, right? Which he did end up doing, so It's still really good cav engagement on Mokus's part. Cryptic has plenty of native lands. Sorry, going back to these eclairs. Once again, running circles. So yeah, trying to go around, and then these guys form square, and then it looks like the eclairs got caught on it. Maybe they purposely, no, yeah, okay, they got caught on it. So, okay, here we go, and then engagement in the forest. Yeah, and Shriek split, right? He's looking at this, trying to go for there, and then Lancers charge, doing a bunch of damage, just getting free kills. Byron really leveraging his cavalry, putting work. Square form, pulls back, yeah. You know, Lancers, touch and go. You charge, got your bonus. As heavy cav isn't catching anything. If I'm Street, I'm pulling my Lancers, because this is ridiculous, right? You gotta have a better cav force over here to help out your army. Yeah, once again, very profitable. Very profitable there. Players come back, so yeah, they're still making money. As I was saying over here, though, Bavaria Mogus did a good job holding his own against this cav. The less native Lancers Cryptic has, you know, the more he loses, the less he'll have later from when he charges. And as the game goes on, cav becomes more and more valuable. More gaps open up in the line, more cav dies. And that means there's more opportunities in the chaos for your cavalry to go and get big targets like generals, like cavalry, like backcharges, like light infantry, etc., etc. And so killing cav early is good in the long run too. We go cav engagement over here. Yeah, really bad cav, really bad Ottoman cav going up against guard lancers. So yeah. And then here come Ottoman lancers. Is he gonna go for it? Yeah. So Byron's gonna go for this. It seems like this cav engagement was kind of mistimed, right? If Hydro had this lancer right to the flank of the light cav could tank the charge bonus and then charge the side of the French lancer. And it looks like Street's gonna kind of get a back charge off here on his ally. I mean, it probably doesn't matter. This French lancer is probably more expensive than the Ottoman lancer.
Our men are running.
Yeah. But still a 2-for-1 trade, right? Well, Ottoman's losing a light cav. This lancer will maybe come back. Probably not, though. And, you know, Street really has me. I said, you know, Street maybe could maybe go for this LOC. And he's been in this forest for a bit, and Byron's just now pulling up. Like, Street could be more aggressive here. And, you know, taking the edge of this forest, fighting in the forest, and then your opponent fighting outside the forest is a really big advantage. Forest granting really good cover for your men. And then if your enemy doesn't have that same cover, gets you a really good advantage. And terrain is such a big factor in Napoleonic warfare in general and in this mod, right? And Hydro Bear just spawned so far back. He has so far to march. Luckily, I mean, he has a lot of guerrillas, so it's not like Denmark, Norway can just bolts on in. But, yeah, definitely not ideal. And really, this middle, the flanks are big here, right? The 2-point is in the middle, sure. Where is that charge going on? Oh, here. Weird to charge from so far out, especially hanging your lancers or hanging your light cav against these lancers. There's no way this light cav's winning, right? Oh, charge over here, heavy cav going for the light cav. Yeah, Byron notices, and the heavy cav's just not gonna catch it. Yeah, very odd move there. Okay, maybe, yeah. So it looks like those lancers didn't get their full charge bonus. And maybe he might win that, actually. Yeah, it looks good for him. So good job on Lagoon there, playing the cav properly. Again, if he timed that better, that wouldn't have happened. Maybe, but he's still got a good trade, right? One light cav and one lancer. Good enough. So this is what I was talking about. The gamble of heavy cav, right? Look, I mean, really early on in the game, this heavy cav is nowhere close to earned its money back. Already getting shot at, already lost almost a quarter of its strength. You know, not super huge, but it's just now this heavy cap's going to be taking overshot, it's going to be taking artillery, etc., etc. As we were saying about this LOC here in the middle, very tough spot for the Ottomans, right? I mean, look at Bavaria, right? Look at Russian or French Guard, and look at this enfilade, right? I mean, yeah, here's the artillery. Okay, this town's in the way. But you pull up the artillery to here. Perfect. Look at where the Bavarian artillery is at. And now this LOC is just a death trap. So if you're a Hydro Bear, you really need your allies to fold the enemy's flanks, and then they use their artillery to do the same thing to your enemy's center. Yeah, so here we go. Byron capitalizing on Street's passiveness, right? He's going to go in here. Line probably just glitched out there, but he's going to go in here and use this forest, use his lights to clear out the forest. This can be risky. Not as risky because he's using his cav to back up his lights. But if there was like a Grenadier charge by Street here, the lights could run, but Street would back it up with Lancers, right? And then Byron couldn't see the Grenadiers coming from as far away as he usually could because the trees hide men better. And also it blocks the shots of his lights more. That's usually why if you're going to clear out a forest with lights, you want Grenadiers behind them as well as cavalry. That being said, Street brought too much heavy cav, and so if he's going to take a cav engagement here, he's going to need a lot of Ottoman cav to help him out there. So Byron's going to take that risk, knowing that Street's probably not going to be able to respond to it. And as I was saying with Street, right, if Street was more aggressive and got to here, then Byron was out in the open, how that's such a big advantage. Well, now Byron's going to try to do the same to him. He's going to try to push Street back out to here, and then Byron can take the edge of the forest. Looks like going for some counter battery shots there, maybe. So, very odd position by Mogus, right? You already have, really, Mogus' job. He's pretty far. Okay, he's not that far. But he's far enough away from the LOC that there's kind of no hope in taking this. And your teammate over here already has this LOC. So all you need is the 2-pointer. So all Bavaria's job is to hold Denmark to the left. And holding this forest, right, I was just talking about Cryptic, how it's all about those native warriors, it's all about the charge. And the same thing about, like, oh, pushing lights in a forest, the Grenadiers can sneak up on you. Same thing here, right, you're holding a forest, and so there's really nice opening. And if your men were in this opening, as the native warriors are crossing the open ground, the volley from your Bavarians are going to do a lot of damage. So, oh, that was a great artillery hit. Yeah, then, yeah, you'd be luring them even more into this great artillery enfilade. This could be better, just due to the fact that force block cannonballs. That was still a really good hit, but, like, if the cannons were targeting these guys, maybe this is technically a more viable target because it's better infantry. But, the artillery would wreck, yeah. Was that an artillery? No, that was just gunfire. Wow, okay. Militia morale. Is he gonna, yeah, okay, so if you're, Mogus, Bavaria here, you can line up, there's a pretty big gap here, you line up your lights, and then you can hold this area pretty easily with lights. Open ground, no cover, just shoot volley after volley. And that way there's not this big gap that Canada can exploit. Byron's attack looking good. So yeah, this is a bad angle for the heavy cav. If they're right behind a gunfight like this, they're gonna be taking this overshot. Yeah, okay, so if your Street comes with Lancers, right? If I'm Street, now Street doesn't have a microphone actually. This is huge. This is huge. So say if I'm Street, I'm telling the Ottomans to send me cav for this. Wow, that was actually a good counter battery hit. Wow, that killed one guy, really? Oh, okay, anyway. Street doesn't have a microphone, but if I was Street and I had a microphone and I wasn't so broke, right, I would be yelling at the Ottomans to send me cav. I think, yeah, okay, maybe he was texting away or something. Yeah, I'm yelling at the Ottomans to send me cav. Because if you take this cav engagement, these lights are really out in the open. Not literally out in the open, but there's no Grenadiers or Old Guard or anything like that to back them up. And look at how far away Byron here is really confident. Okay, is this... If Street actually allows this to happen, this is going to be really embarrassing. There's no way, right? Okay, charge over there. There's no way. Actually, I've watched this battle 2 times now because I had to re-record this. No way he allows this to happen. What? No. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway. Okay, charge over here. What is that? Yeah, Lancers going in against the Clares. If I'm Byron, I'm like, whatever. These Clares have paid for themselves so much now. I don't care if they died to that Lancer. Chip them away. Lights and square. Square breaks because Lancers have no melee ability, so even if they square, Cav can still break it pretty easily. Wow, massive fumbles by Street here. That's actually huge. And then, yeah, here come the Lancers. Yeah, I guess the enemy Lancers are a way bigger threat to everything else here. You really gotta send in these Grenadiers. You gotta send in your other... Like, you got a full send, right? You can't just half send. You got a full send. Get the General over here. Get everything over here. Here we go. Tired, so, okay. It's gonna be kind of risky now. Now those square. These are tired. These are winded, so they're fine. They'll live. Yeah, and this heavy cav just isn't doing anything. It's at 500 gold right here. 500 gold. And it's a hood ornament. It is inspiring, I guess, the Lancer, which would be more important if the Lancer wasn't tired. You know, kind of a good attack by Street. He didn't lose this Lancer. Didn't lose that much heavy cav. Killed the Eclair finally. To be fair, this attack split his micro, and then he lost his other piece of artillery. So this is really bad for Street, actually. Russian Guard needs that artillery so much. And, yeah, okay, he's bringing over more Lancers, yeah. Anyway, that's smart by Street. The Russian Guard needs the artillery so badly. Oh my god, is there already a charge over here? That losing those two pieces are big. Yeah, here's Cryptic's grand charge. So he sends in the first wave of militia to tank. And then, wow, that's really loud. Here come the native warriors. Now, if there's any faction that has the Grenadiers to stop this, okay, well, like, other than Saxony, right? But Bavaria has the Grenadiers to stop this. Just like, yeah, so, okay, yeah, there we go. He sends the lights in, as I was saying, how you should have done that a lot before. If I'm Bavaria, I'm going over for Denmark to send me Cav. Because, what is Denmark doing, right? I mean, not much going on, right? And I'm also curling this line, right? When you're in crisis mode like this, every man needs to be playing his part. So this has to be curling over. This has to advance and shoot in the rear, right? Doesn't look bad, though. Doesn't look bad. I'm also, right, like, after winning this, I'm pulling back one Grenadier and resting. And, like, if I can, he probably can't square this. Or, like, I'm pulling these Grenadiers back at square. You need squares here. You need squares. Mokus, honestly, he probably should have retreated the main line, fell them back, squared them, and then sent in the Grenadiers, right? Instead of just sitting there and taking it. Yeah, backcharging his own men there. Yeah, I shouldn't do that much damage, but that was probably worth it. Yeah. Might be TKing himself there with that. And again, these native Lancers putting in their work, putting in their paces, good general placement. Pop a rally, assuming he hasn't already popped one. Wow, crazy cannonball shot right down the middle. Yeah, like right here, right? Pull back a Grenadier. Rest your Grenadiers. Like this one's tired, pull it back. Rest it. This Grenadier right here, very tired, pull it back. You need to be balancing to inspired. So that was Cryptic's rally. Now you gotta pop a rally. Right? Make sure you use your rallies when you're inspires. Shouldn't die with those on you. Here we go. Cav engagement on the left here. Very odd for him to be taking that. This square isn't going to be doing enough. And yeah, as I was saying with heavy cav, massive target. If these Grenadiers do shoot, it's going to be like they're shooting airsoft pellets. Grenadiers just can't shoot in this mod. They have really bad shooting sets. I mean, yeah, I guess if I'm Byron, I'm sticking this. Oh, yeah, if I'm Byron, I'm sticking this. I know, right? You look around, Street only has 2 Lancers. So if I still have a Hussar and a Lancer, I'd rather take the 1-to-1 trade. Those guys probably aren't coming back. These guys might come back. Very rare, though. Still a very healthy Lancer unit, but also another very healthy Lancer unit. Back over here. Mogus's front. So much goes on in these 3v3s. And yeah, okay, good square here. Cryptic trying to make use of his Lancer, which he actually did. He went for that, and it stuck, and it stuck hard. But look at how much of Mogus's army is just not doing anything, right? This one section is under so much pressure. You need to use every part of your army. Yeah, huge charge by the native warriors here right into these lights. These lights are going to get chewed apart. Yeah, no, it's just have to rest one. I think, yeah, he's out of cab, so yeah, now he's going to have to pull back these lights. But, you know, worst case scenario, if you're worried about the lights being charged, send these 4 lights over here and pull off 4 line infantry over here. Oh, huge breakthrough by Cryptic there. Yeah, there was a gap here, right? So now he goes for the general. Is he gonna make it? So Cryptic that was really weird. I don't know. Maybe Cryptic decided to go for that. He's like, I'm not gonna get the general. Might as well get value. Very odd. Yeah, very, very strenuous, and again, very not really using his full army. Especially this Garde du Corps is such an like these Lancers. Okay, you have to protect your artillery, right? But this Garde du Corps is so expensive, such a good heavy cab unit. It needs to be over here. And really, if you're looking at the map, right, where is he going to charge? In the forest. Where else would he charge? Charging over open ground is really not advisable. So this heavy cab should have been over here from the very start. Lancers, again, gap in the front lines. Go for the general. Right, as I was saying, as the game goes later and later on, this cab is going to have more opportunities in the chaos to get value. Back over to the other flank. So this is a fool's errand, right? I don't know. Okay, here are these Lancers. Oh no, did these Lancers come back? Or is this just this other unit of Lancer and it got bent? I can't tell. But yeah, you're setting in your units piecemeal, right? 1 Grenadier and 1 heavy cab. Like, okay, this is coming in. Maybe this will get in here quick enough. It's not looking like it though. Okay, broke the Lancer, but the Grenadier's broken. So now this entire line just squares. Right. And then the Lancers. If I'm Byron, I'm not charging the heavy cab. Yeah, there you go. I'm not charging the heavy cab. I want my charge bonus against those Lancers. Very tough fight for the Mamluks there. And, you know, like, if I'm Byron, getting the general, and I'm sending over these Lancers, there are those going over there? Are those protecting? No, there weren't guns here, were there? No, okay, I don't know where those Lancers are going. But anyway, Mamluks getting huge value and not worth it on Street's part, right? Lancer unit taking heavy casualties, Grenadiers taking heavy casualties, heavy cab taking heavy casualties, and what you got a Lancer and a light. Yeah, not worth it at all. Smart move by Byron. I'm not gonna. These Mamluks better fucking come back. It's atrocious. I would not want to sacrifice my Mamluks on heavy cab like this. Yeah, he's just gonna shoot it. And that's the best way to deal with heavy cab, is just shooting it. The armor doesn't protect it against bullets, so you spend 500 gold and then just get shot. Brilliant. Yeah, Mamluks came back. Good. Very, very risky here, though, because it's so close to the map edge, and if units break and then go off the map, they're done. They'll never come back. So Cryptic's attack over here, really good breakthrough. I don't know how much cav the Ottomans brought. It looks like he still has more. And this would be a great time to send in Ottoman cav to exploit the breakthrough. Okay, Ottomans, yeah, here we go, sending in some cav here. Bit of a weird charge, but it's against light infantry, so he can make it. He can make that. But Cryptic definitely lost a lot in this attack. But he broke through, and now the Bavarians are actually in 2 pieces, right? And this means too, right, if you have traditional cannonball artillery, not howitzers, you can set up artillery here, get this crazy enfilade going, and you should have a cav advantage to protect those guns if you were to have them. Yeah, Street's attack here, very not timed properly, you know. Sent in things one at a time, or, you know, a couple at a time instead of all at once. And that allowed Byron to easily take it, like, pick it off and then push it out. And now Street, he better hold on to the edge of this forest for his dear life. Because if he gets pushed out of this forest, it's wraps, it's curtains. He already lost 2/3 of his artillery, which is huge, very big loss. Looks like Hydro Bear's finally starting to arrive. All Danish. So it looks like Denmark brought, yeah, all howitzers, which are good at counter battery. 10 men gone first volley. Yeah. And really just a good spot for them in general. I mean, you can just, howitzers practically can't miss. If their fuses are mistimed or they hit somewhere different, they're gonna hit another unit. So this is a really expensive skirmisher unit too, to not be doing anything. Like, there's good cover over there to send to. Cryptic cleaning up what's left here, and then this is super close to the map edge, so these units are gonna break and then flee. And really weird by Lagoon, the Ottomans, it kind of looks like they're just now arriving. This charge has been going on for a long time. I feel like you'd want to be sending reinforcements to help your ally, especially since this flank, a crazy enfilade could happen if the enemy actually brought proper artillery. And then here Street goes. Now this is just this is like okay, right? So now you're giving up your cover. Your enemy has good lights that are in cover, and now you're looking at this, right? And the angle that's at. At this point, if I'm Street, I'm out of there, right? Canister loaded in this, and I'm asking Hydro Bear for a favor. Cav engagement over here, very big cav engagement, fighting for the guns. Not only are these guns expensive, but they're a huge part of the defense here. Lancer's gonna get caught, so yeah, that's why you need to be running them in column, so it's harder to catch them. If those were in column, they probably would have reached before the heavy cav got to it. Then Lancer's in the rear, and then here comes the light cav. I just don't think it's gonna be timed properly. Yeah, they're already like wavering, right? So yeah, then they get. Yeah, and then they get tapped, and now they're gone. So, good attempt by Hydro. Good attempt. You saw how big those guns were. Just if those two lights were timed just slightly better, it probably would have paid off. Yeah, and it looks like that this side, Hydro, Street, all of them, it looks like they didn't bring any normal artillery, right? They brought normal artillery. This enfilade would go crazy. Here are the lights. Very odd choice by Lagoon to go for these guys. A lot of this Ottoman stuff can't square. Those can, go figure. If I'm Lagoon, right, this is a pretty good unit, actually. And I would go and just charge that instead of charging to the front of infantry. Very, very, like, this was all very predictable. I don't know. I don't know why Lagoon isn't formed up more for this. This is no shock. This is no surprise. Yeah, and again, Meyer not really using much of his army here. At least a lot of it's still in reserve. Howitzers going off. If I'm Street 2, actually, I want to load canister in this and try to use canister range. Howitzer canister is really good. Oh, did that hit? Oh, yes, it did. Oh, boy. Yeah, as I was saying about that angle. Very gnarly. Yeah, it's, again, Street brought 3 units of heavy cav, and it's really not gone its paces, or not gone its uses out of it. And it's so expensive. It's like, if you don't get your money's worth out of heavy cav, that's a huge loss. So here we go. Hydro Bear's looking at the right. His teammate probably doesn't have an army left. He's looking at the left. His teammate's about to not have an army. The general's about to get sniped there because of overshot. So he's like, you know what? YOLO. Straight down the middle. It looks like, though, he lost most, if not all of his cav, though, so early on that... There we go. Some cav. I think this is really bad cav, though. But some cav to back up a charge. You really need cav support for charges. It's very pivotal. And this Danish army is so fresh, right? Since it hasn't been reinforcing Mogus, since it hasn't been reinforcing Byron, it's like really intact. And so is the Ottoman army, but the Ottoman army's been sending a lot of that cav around. And, you know, Lagoon's been sending some of his cav around, but he still has cav. And Mogus just has really bad cav. And here it goes, yep, Colonel Colognes. Those all might have missed, but then all those 10-inch howitzers come in. And I mean, you can see the red lines, right? That's artillery strikes. Yeah, smart by Lagoon, just run. Get them tired. I'd run them even further. Okay, there we go. Square, it's a cav, but these guys are kind of sacrifices, but no, they're tired. And I broke that unit, so okay. Here you go. Danish Grenadiers aren't great, but they can definitely hold their own. And yeah, this is a horror. I don't know why Shriek's taking this fight. You're not even fighting for an LOC at this point. What's the point? Just your enemy's in cover and you're not, and they have lights in cover and you don't. So you're just not winning that. Very big charge here. And if this works, like Byron's gonna have to send reinforcements. Bavaria obviously can't, right? I really wish this was actually from, not really wish, but if this is from Hydro's perspective, we could see, you know, how much gas does he have in the tank? Because this is looking kind of bad for the Danish, but if this is all Hydro has, ooh, big artillery. If this is all Hydro has, that's, I mean, this is just not enough. Yeah, here it goes. Very, like, very odd placement from Lehman. Maybe the line just glitched, right? Yeah, and I was just talking about how you don't want to charge over open ground. And there's a nice forest right here. But, yeah. And this forest, you know, Russian Guard could have helped you out easier instead of, like, there's no Canadians left over here, it looks like. So, Mamluks going around. Oh, yeah, it looks like Street lost his general. Did overshot. Another unit of heavy cav. Probably his last unit of heavy cav he has. Okay. Yeah, but look, Hydra just lost so much there. The Ottomans lost so much there. And look, I'm not gonna say Lagoon's fine, especially this. This kind of looks scary. I don't think these guys have good enough melee stats for this. Yeah, guard corps, good over there. But these grenadiers are gonna be tired, right? Yeah, they're very tired. And oh, Colonel Cologne getting his paces. Okay, why? What was the point in that? Anyway, yeah, I'd want to pull back these grenadiers and rest them up. This is looking scary. This is looking really scary, actually. I think I'll beat it back, though, right? Guard to core, a lot of infantry over here, lights right there. Strenuous, but he may get it. He may get it. Go. Oh! Colonel Cologne coming in. Yeah, when I first watched this battle, actually, it was from Byron's perspective, and I've been like reusing commentary, right? And so I didn't really know what was happening over here. Byron was really focusing on his front, but it's pretty obvious what was gonna happen, especially when you have such a bird's eye view of it. And then here we go. Yeah. Looks like there's a charge over here and then Ottoman chain route. No, okay, why would you even, what's the point of that? And I don't know why Lagoon was sending his grenadiers like this. Like, just pull him back. You've won. Pull him back. There we go. Denmark going for the general. Smart. Get the fucking guard to gore in there, god damn it. It's expensive. Like, by the time it gets over, if Canada's attacking over here, by the time this gets over here, okay, battle's over. Send it in. Send it in. Very expensive unit. If Lagoon micros this properly, he can get the general. If he doesn't, stakes have been here since the start of the game. Yeah, Ottoman's losing the general due to overshot there. No skill required on the part of the enemy. Part of the friendly. Oh, okay, good charge there by Byron on the side. Ottoman's getting caught out. And yeah, look, Lagoon. Oh my god, I can get the artillery! I can get the artillery! No, you can't, kid. No, you can't. Oh, man. Yeah. Anyway, good use of the Lancers by Byron. Gonna just fucking mop up this flag. Like it's nothing. So there we go. Byron shifted out. He's now brought up his best units. Yeah. Pivotal moment of the battle. Really, yeah, the Russians just need one stiff breeze and they'll collapse. If Street could rub together a few more brain cells, this canister is so good. Right? You fall back and just hold the cannon and use canister, right? You're not even fighting for an LOC. I don't care. Whatever. Play the game how you want. Here comes Cryptic. He's like, damn. No one else on my team can attack, so I guess I have to. I really, if I was Hydro Bear, right, I get where he's coming from. There's just a lot of other options, right? You could have attacked. I think this Russian Guard flank, or this, not Russian Guard, well, I think this Imperial Guard flank came up recently. Finally, those Lancers routing. But you could have attacked through this forest. Probably could have attacked Imperial Guard flank. Could have went and helped out. Cryptic, probably not because he spawned so far back, but like with Cav, right? Instead his Cav died in like Cav skirmishes that produced no value. Byron feeling bold, coming out of the woodwork, literally here. Go and attack. And you know, Street has Grenadiers. I don't know. Again, replays from Byron's perspective. So that was one of Byron's units, and I don't know what it was. Anyway, Street still has tank and the gas. He still has a heavy cav. Still has some Grenadiers. So he has stuff. Still has some. Okay, so this line infantry unit, this should not. That's very odd. Yeah, okay, I guess, like, isn't this an elite right here? You would want to save the elites for last. Send in this guy. Because this was regular line infantry, right? Send in this guy first. Yeah, and it looks like the Ottomans were just thrown back. And then here come the Canadians. And at this point, too, it's like, if Cryptic wins, Hydra didn't do much against Lagoon. So even if Canada beats Bavaria here, what, is Canada then going to go face a full Denmark? Like, probably not, right? So, and these Lancers just need to go for it. Just charge, yeah, just, no, come on. Just stick it, you'll win. Guard to Corps coming over here. So it went over there, didn't really get its full money worth. Now it's trying to go over here. Yeah, that light is so dead. And these lights really not getting their money's worth either, because by the time they were formed up and firing, the units that were supporting their flank got eviscerated, and then they just got charged, so they just got ran up in it. And big charge over here by Street that I didn't get to cover, right? He's going, amassing the Grens and going for one big push on these cannons. Smart, because if they're in canister range, they're going to do massive damage. Last of Byron's Lancers. So last of Byron's Cap in general, right? Wow, big canister shot there. I don't know how these guys are so low. They're, like, barely lost any men. Anyway. So yeah, here comes Street. Doesn't have, like, push up this heavy cav. Make Byron square. Yep, here come the Lancers just to cut through everyone. These Grenadiers are going to get cut to pieces. They're already tired. The Lancers broke. These are now, this cannon is now exposed, right? Send in the goddamn heavy cav. Send it. It dies, boo-hoo. Your Grenadiers, if this fails, if all your Grenadiers are dead, then the heavy cav on its own isn't going to do anything, right? Oh, here are some Lancers. Yeah. Good plays. And then there we go. It broke. Man, I would hope those came back. It'd be crazy if they didn't. 45 out of 60, really? Grenadiers, good charge there. Yeah, and again, you know, Street, he's getting these really good one-off charges, one-off breaks, and then he's just not following it up. And so it's like, okay, yeah, you broke this artillery. You lost, what, you're not going to lose 3 Grenadiers? That's not even, I don't even think that's economically profitable. Each of those Grenadiers is probably 400, and this is 800, so what, you lose 4, 8, 12, 1200. Like, yeah, no, that's not. I mean, of course, he's also getting some random shitter infantry, so in the end, it might be on par or even, but. Oh, and now you said in the heavy cap. Right, right, of course. Silly human tricks are for kids. Yeah, Mogus, not enough to really repel. I say that. This is actually looking pretty good. Guard to core. Those Yorks aren't going to do anything. Just said, pull the heavy back at this point. Right. Squares, battalion mass. They're never going to catch that HQ in time. Unsquare this, bring it up. Here comes the Odo Warriors. I mean, if he wasn't so aggressive with this, they could go here. Body block. Oh, wow. Good volley right at the final moment. Yeah, but since they got into the melee, they may still win. Yeah, and here comes Lagoon to send more support. And just send it all. Send as much as you can, right? Like, what Ottomans are you fighting? You really need 3 units to go against 1 skirmisher, right? And yeah, those grenadiers were routed, so. And the cannons came back. So, 0-sum game there for Street. Yeah. This line's routing. Okay, well, Guard Decor, very tired Guard Decor into a square is definitely not the play. This was going well, and then the native warriors touched the line infantry, and then that's over. And this Guard Corps, man, this is why heavy cav, a lot of people say it's bad. It's so hard to use. It's so slow. That timing it right, it's like, oh, I didn't see a charge coming 5 minutes in advance. Well, there goes 500 gold. So it's like, why even waste the money on it? Especially, like, I feel, does Bavaria get guerrilla cav, or is that Saxony I'm thinking of? I think it's I don't know if Bavaria does. Like, Saxony gets a really random guerrilla cav unit for some reason. There we go. Canister going against the. Street could have been doing this ages ago, but no. So yeah, now it's just massacre. Final stand of the Bavarians, dude. Mogus put in a hell of a fight. So did Cryptic, but Mogus just held on long enough to guarantee the win elsewhere. And I want to say good on Street for holding this long, I guess, but he was always on the back foot. Since 5 minutes in, he's always been on the back foot, and it's really hard to break that momentum. And you just keep up with the momentum. There you go. Cannons break. These cannons are still good. And so now Street's going to fall back. Go for a last stand there. Now he falls back, by the way. Now he falls back. And really, I was talking about this enfilade that Byron could be doing. Bavaria got it, but Byron wasn't doing it. He didn't really need to, because Russia formed their own lines into an enfilade. So, you know, if I'm Street, it's like, yeah, I don't want to fall back, because I don't want to let my teammate get enfiladed. But also, the enfilade's already happening with Bavarian artillery. What's another battery doing the same thing? So might as well fall back and at least try to save your army, than take a very unfavorable fight. And yeah, Bavarian's really taking the brunt of the damage here. But Cryptic, on this side, Cryptic's definitely the best player. And so Mogus took it on the chin. And he inflicted enough damage and held out long enough, as I was saying. So, good on him for the team. And Hydro Bear, man, was just in such a difficult position, right? So far back, has to march all the way up here. And then you look to your left, you look to your right. Your allies really aren't doing enough, and it's like, okay, I gotta force a play. Really, if he was more patient, honestly, I think he could have helped out Cryptic with Cryptic's second charge against Bavaria, because that was looking good. That was looking promising, as opposed to just sending it straight down the middle. or even like this forest or this forest. Like there's a lot better places for an Ottoman charge as opposed to right down right down the middle. There we go. Street finally picks a good battlefield. Now that the game's over. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Now that the game's over, he'll pick a good battlefield, right? And then it won't matter because he'll lose anyway. Grenadiers. He picked apart. Here comes Denmark to help out the last of the Bavarians. And I mean, just look at Byron's army. It's fine. These units aren't so fine, but like, come on. Yeah, 2nd Regiment Grenadiers Old Guard. They've lost 15 guys. Thanks. And these guys are also fine, so. And yeah, Byron kept so much of his army back, so much. It's like he used only 2/3 of the army to beat Street. There we go. Last stand. Look at these brave Russians die. The one thing about, I mean, not only does Russian line infantry have like okay stats, they're not great. They're definitely not bad. They have super high cohesion. Like some of this line infantry has 10 cohesion. And that's why, you know, even without a general, I mean, these guys are particularly low. Okay, like yeah, without a general, 79 out of 210. That's pretty fucking good. And here comes Old Guard artillery. Again, there's just this heavy cap just was not. If I'm Street and I have that much heavy cab, I would probably send one to help out Canada. Sure, it would take a long time, but do it at the start of the game, right? Do you really need 3 units of heavy cab all on one flank? Is that really the best call? I'm sending one over to Canada, maybe sending one over to the Ottomans. It's just so, you know, that's a really expensive part of the army. It's just not do anything with it. And I don't think Cryptic brought artillery this game. You know, to be fair, I guess Canada doesn't get great artillery, but that would have helped out Hydro Bear a lot here. That enclave. The last game I played with Cryptic, or not, like, I think it was the last game I played with Cryptic, where he was Canada. Yeah, I was playing Sweden. And he brought the 6-pounder horse artillery that Canada has, the Royal Militia 6-pound horse artillery. And because of the terrain, he brought it and then got, like, no kills with it. I was in a forest and a pretty good defilade. And he had a good angle on me, but the forest saved me. And after that, I imagine after spending like 600 gold on an artillery piece that only got 100 kills, he's like, okay, I'm taking 2 more units of native lancers. Forget the artillery. Then yeah, here comes the Old Guard. Shocker. To wipe up. Yeah, Russian Guard just relies so much on the cav, so much on the artillery. If you lose the artillery and then don't bring the cav, expected results. And again, you know, Hydro also didn't do a whole lot there. So it's not like it's just all on Street, but he was definitely playing a good faction and didn't get enough mileage out of the faction despite how good it is. And it's crazy on the other hand too. You look at Cryptic playing Canada, it's crazy. You don't really think of Canada in Field Command Napoleon as being a meta faction, but the way Cryptic can leverage Canada is better than any player I've seen on Canada. He can really get it going. And Bavaria is such a strong faction. And the way that he kind of just smashed through Mogus, that first charge, it was a hard fought battle for sure, but very crazy that it got that close. And the issue with it, though, is just the fact that you can't bring enough men as Canada. You only get so many native warriors. You only get so many native lancers. And I think another big thing about this team, too, is the coordination there, right? With Street not having a microphone, it can be hard to coordinate. There's really another pretty I guess Bavaria's pulled pretty far, but a pretty viable strategy would have been to just hold a line from like here to here, and then you're just fighting over this 2-pointer, right? You have the 2-pointer and then the 2 on this side of the map, and you have LOC. Instead of trying to like, oh, let's go for this LOC, and then let's go for this LOC, and then let's also go for the 2-pointer. You gotta concentrate the force a little bit more. So here we go. Fabulous. Fabulous. Look at these brave Russians die. At least their uniforms look cool, right? Old Guard Grenadiers. These Old Guard Grenadiers are insane. The oldest of the Old Guard, I can't remember their exact name, but they have like 36 melee attack or something. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we look at it. Yeah, Mogus taking the brunt there. Still killed more than he lost, which is good. And then Byron just like damn near 2.0 KD. And Lagoon actually suffered quite heavily. Yeah, I see Cryptic bringing the least amount of men, but getting by far the most amount of kills. Not by far, I guess. Hydro put in some work, but getting most amount of kills. And really, you look at this, and it's like that Hydro Bear attack actually wasn't as bad as it looked. And you know, it's just gonna title this video "Dogging on Street." I feel bad, man, because it's tough. It's tough playing against such a good player. But man, you really gotta consider, right, what you're doing for the team. Yeah, Grenadiers at the end there getting so much, and then Byron really leveraging his cav. And this is a great skill, actually. This video really demonstrates, if you're paying attention, how Byron uses cav. It's one thing to win cav supremacy, and it's another thing entirely to leverage that cav supremacy into an actual advantage for your army in terms of getting infantry kills, getting cannon kills, getting a general kill. Right? Two very different skills, and Byron was able to really use his cav to get an edge early on. Some of his cabs somehow super. I like these mamluks. Got messed up. They went up against Lancers and then heavy cab. Right. And in terms of losses, so yeah, anything that's like young guard isn't great. This old guard unit should actually be pretty good. These guys aren't that good. The Marines are alright. Mamluks pretty good. These Grenadiers are good. And then he still had stuff at 0, which is crazy. Like, he still had so many untouched units. That's insane. Anyway, that's all I have today in this battle replay or battle review. I hope you all liked it. Let me know if you guys like I said, let me know if you like the audio settings, if you think the game looks good. If you think that mod looks good and you would like to try it, look up Field Command Napoleon on ModDB, and there's a Discord link in the ModDB page with the most up-to-date version we're on. This says 9.0. We're on 9.0.1 now. And hop in. We have games almost every day. They're a lot of fun. It's a hard mod, but it's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.